Welcome to the official Tennis.com podcast featuring professional coach and community leader, Kamau Murray.
Welcome to the Tennis.com podcast. I'm your host, Kamau Murray, and we are with everyone's favorite girl, Allie Kiick. We're always jealous, but she gets to be a civilian more than most of us. We're wondering where she is she healthy, when we're gonna see her again. So we're now got a chance to kick back with her and see what she's been up to. But the first question is, you come from a very athletic family. Both parents athletes, and we know to make a tennis player as good as you, it always takes one psychopath. Which one of your parents was like the one that like just drove the bus and was a crazy tennis parent?
So I feel like it's a little bit of both, but my mom was always like behind the scenes. So everyone thought she was like the nice, calm one, and then behind the scenes she was kind of like the crazier one. But my dad, you know, he was the one who would just scream while I was on court and, you know, call me all sorts of names, and we just, you know, banter back and forth on the court and stuff. But when I came off the court, he was actually like the nicer one. So they kind of like reversed roles.
So your mom was the one would drive you to practice, and then you get that long car ride home, and she'd sit there and lecture you the whole ride home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, those were the days. In juniors, when you'd get those lectures that were like, when you knew you had a long drive home and you had to just sit back there and just listen and listen. And it was like, it was the worst.
You're like, it was just practice. Why are we talking about practice?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard it all. But, you know, they are great parents. They're just super competitive. So they're definitely both a little crazy.
But you know what's funny is that as a tennis player, if your dad is on the sideline coming at you and you're on the court, that's like the only time where you can come back at him and not get slapped.
Oh, 100%. That's why I did it too. And he'd be like, "You can't talk to me that way." I'm like, "What are you gonna do about it, Dad?"
Right.
You know, what are you gonna do about it? And I was all like smart when I was on the court, and then when I came off the court, I was like, "Oh."
Cowering. Like,
yeah.
Don't,
it's like, oh, why'd I do that?
About what I just said.
Yeah.
So you were part of this crazy class of 95 babies. Like that was like a famous class. Vicky Duval, Sasha, Madison, you. How did you like find your way in that group of players? Because I remember like thinking like, how did all these great tennis girls born in the same year happen?
Yeah, it was really difficult, and I was always kind of like mad that I had like such a hard year. But I remember Sasha, Graceman, she's actually a year older. Vicky Duval and Madison were always like the top girls, and they were just in a completely different category than I was. And then kind of as I got older, you know, I started to kind of work myself up a little bit more. Obviously, Madison's, you know, way up there. And Sasha and I are just, you know, trying to keep on going here, trying to get up there just like Madison. But, you know, it was great to have them just because it was like, they're kind of inspirations, you know, and it's like, oh, if they're doing it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So
you talked about like Sasha, like you've been grinding it out, and everyone knows you struggle with some injuries. Tell us about like maybe perhaps some of your injuries and like the good part about being injured. You get to like be normal.
Yeah. Well, I was out like 3.5 years with my knees, which was kind of unheard of to come back from. I was told that I possibly wouldn't be able to come back. So that was really tough for me, but I did all the rehab and I did all the work necessary and I made it back, which is really exciting. But, you know, being out for that long, I definitely got a taste of what real life is about. I worked a job making $25 an hour, coaching tennis lessons, it was tough. I was coaching little kids. And yeah, it was definitely quite the adjustment. So it was a learning experience for sure. But I did get to experience, you know, all the little things in life that you do appreciate, you know, birthdays, weddings and stuff like that, which I really loved.
So I missed my son's birthday yesterday, so I totally get it.
I'm sorry.
Right? 7 years old. I'm like the worst dad on the planet.
Oh, no.
But I am interested. So like, you know, when people of your caliber like come work at a club, like teaching kids, people walk in my club and say, okay, I want to work with the best kids because I played D3 tennis. Yeah. Right? I'm like, no, you're going to work with red ball. So when you worked your job, first of all, for $25 an hour, I mean, somebody who was top 100 in the world, you should be getting like 50.
It was tough.
It was tough. But like, did they make you start with like red ball, or were you, boom, high performance director?
No, I was teaching red ball.
Right.
I was starting with red ball. It was basically like on the weekends I would teach kids that were literally like 3 years old, and I had to teach them how to walk the dog, with the racket. And I was like, I don't even know how to do this. Like, I don't know how to walk the dog.
There were no red balls when you were like a kid, by the
No.
way. So this is like a whole new system.
A whole new system. And, these other coaches are telling me, kind of like these drills to kind of do with these kids. And I'm like, I just know how to hit a forehand. Like, I don't know how to do a continental grip. Like, I just hit a forehand with topspin, And it was a huge adjustment for me. It's fun, but definitely an adjustment.
Because I would say you'd be like a great hitting partner. If they got a good junior, and then Allie's on staff, boom, grind out with Allie, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that.
Wasn't that?
No, I wish I had that, but it was a lot of babysitting and kind of teaching tennis combined. Yeah.
So what keeps you going? Because I've seen a lot of people get one injury. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can't come back from it. It's too hard. The rehab is too hard. The rehab is too long. It's too painful to watch these other girls do it, so they totally go the other way. What kind of kept you going forward, right, and like wanting to come back?
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I think the love of the game, but I'm not gonna lie, there were definitely moments where I was like, I'm enjoying normal life. And so it definitely made it difficult to come back, but ultimately it was like there was a missing piece in my life when I didn't have tennis.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was like, I got a taste of real life having to work a job, and it was like, you know what? Playing pro tennis is way better than that. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It just like you said, you miss a lot when you're on tour. And I think when I had the opportunity to actually experience it all, it was just like, wow, this is really nice. I get to go out on the weekends and I get to have fun. And it's like, you don't have to worry about training. You don't have to worry about the stress of a tournament and all that stuff. And so, I did miss it, but there were also a lot of things that I didn't miss. But ultimately, it definitely came down to that missing piece of my life, and it's tennis.
So when you were off, you got a lot of time to spend with your family, right?
Yes.
So everyone, your dad's like famous football player. Tell us about your dad and, like while you were injured, right? How he kind of helped you through that, because he obviously dealt with injuries as a football player. They get injured every week, right? So tell us about the relationship kind of toward the end there when you were at home, like, oh, I get to spend time with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been such a powerful impact in my life just because he is who he is. He was actually suffering from dementia at the time, so I didn't really get the chance to have that conversation with him because he didn't fully understand any of it. But just kind of having his presence and, just looking at him and being like, wow, he's Jim Kiick, and he made it to where he did. And it's like injuries to him were absolutely nothing. He broke his finger and they would just send him back out. And I mean, he played with things that are just completely unheard of. And so, he was just kind of an inspiration, and I wanted to be like him, but in the tennis world.
Nothing stops you. So here's my dementia story. So my mom died of dementia.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
And 2017, when Sloane was playing the U.S. Open, it was like she was really starting to lose it. So we flew her to New York. That was the first tennis match she'd ever been to. So when I was growing up, my mother never came to watch me play tennis. Not to practice, nothing, right? So my sister flew her up and was like, all right, we're gonna take you to a tennis match. So she comes watch a tennis match, and after the match, obviously Sloane wins, and she's like, come on, that girl can really hit the ball. Can you do that? I was like, yeah, Mom, I kick her. I was like, I kick her ass. She was like, oh, okay. I was wondering, because I remember writing all those checks. I was just wondering where it would lead. She like, this ain't a bad place for it to lead, right?
Aww.
So that's my dementia story. It's like,
that's so cute. Oh.
Well, we obviously miss you on tour, right? And everyone misses your smile. Tell us about Lisa Raymond, because you've got a Hall of Famer in your corner now with the best advice, right? One of the best doubles players ever to play the game, also top 20. Tell us about the impact that she's had on you and how you tolerate Lisa. Because I know I'm around Lisa for a long time. And then I'm like, yeah, all right, bye Lisa, I'm gone.
Yeah, I don't tolerate her. No, Lisa is incredible. She has the biggest heart of anyone I ever know. And I mean, she is family to me. So I'm super grateful for that. But, you know, she has been through so much with me. You know, my injuries, when my dad passed, she was just my rock through it all. And, you know, all my success from here on out, I owe to her. She is just truly an inspiration. She's been by my side through it all. And I mean, she's incredible. Look at her, you know, look at what she's accomplished in her life. I'm still in awe of her, honestly. Like, I'm like, do you realize how good you are? You know, we'll be walking around the grounds and people will come up to her, not me, her.
Right.
They'll be like, can I have a picture? And I'm like, just step aside.
Right. So she can still hit a ball. Can she beat you?
Oh, she's going to say she can, but no.
No.
She doesn't have the movement anymore. Sorry, Lisa.
She'll just serve a volley just to get the point over with.
Yeah. Oh, she serves and volleys and she does that slice crap. And I'm like, Lisa.
That's a lost art in the women's game now.
Yeah.
That slice crap, right?
Oh, I have to hear about it every time. She's like, no one can slice. No one can slice. You got to hit the slice. I'm like, okay, Lisa, I got it. Okay.
They're like, they hit the ball too big now to slice it.
Thank you, Kamau. Thank you. I hope she hears that.
I'll catch her at the bar tonight.
Yeah.
I'll get her straight.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Well, we thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're glad to see you back and hope to see you more often.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.